David Benjamin and his firm The Living are dedicated to pushing the boundaries of the architectural profession with technological advancements, both materiality and method for designing. In the article Biofever, he introduced the future of building with synthetic biology through answering three questions. In the first question, he states that compared with previous biology, synthetic biology not only has a different mission, which involves a shift from seeking knowledge to solving problems, but also has a different framework, which shifts science into the hands of designers. And designers are also more capable of experimenting with synthetic biology because of the recent drop in the cost of DNA sequencing and bioparts 3D printers. In the second question, he said that synthetic biology would change architecture entirely, from material to design and construction system, and even make built entirely new living buildings become possible. Finally, Benjamin states that the rise of synthetic biology will create fundamental changes in the design process, where uncertainty must be accepted and embraced.
About efficiency and creativity, in our current moment of data and digital processes, the issue is not whether to choose one side or the other, but rather how to structure a relationship between efficiency and creativity that balances their different strengths. Efforts to exploring a new frontiers in computing and the built environment. He says this will enable the living to do more of what we are already doing and supercharge it. His company Living it's a company that has advances in computing, hardware and software, and the development of new materials and increasingly accessible efficient computing power of the cloud. Autodesk is embarking on a new area of computing age design. The Living, a collaboration of expansion of Autodesk with David Benjamin, is to create our innovative first of its kind Autodesk studio. It's well known for bringing new technology to life in the new environment. In the past few years, The Living has created a wide range of futurist designs involving innovative approaches such as using bacteria to manufacture building materials, writing authorities to enhance creativity, and exploring design beyond typical rules of swaps, and developing new urban spaces that promote collectively and culture. One of the latest examples of Living's approach was the PS1 courtyard. The temporary installation was created in part using Autodesk software.
He also said that this project tests any idea, high-tech or low-tech, new or ancient, and changes the way we design and manufacture the built environment for the better. In the first place, he uses biological technologies to create the organic bricks. Low-value crop waste is harvested from farmers and chopped up. Then combined with special formulated mycelium, which is a mushroom root material, it is natural self-assembling glue which can grow around and digest crop waste. This mixture can be packed into molds of any shape. Over a few days, the material becomes a solid, strong, lightweight, low-cost object and ready to be used. After that, the bricks are totally compostable. He said this building that grows out of nothing but earth and returns to nothing but earth, with almost no waste, no energy needs, and no carbon emissions. In the second place, the reflective bricks in the top are produced through their custom forming of a new daylighting mirror film. It bounces light down on the tower and the ground, and creates mesmerizing light effects on its interior walls. In the third place, he uses a special structure that's thin and porous at the bottom, which inverts the logic of load-bearing brick construction and creates a gravity-defying effect. The structure is calibrated to create a cold microclimate in the summer by drawing in cold air at the bottom and pushing out hot air at the top.
Efficiently, it was even a new process in workflow and communication, says Benjamin. We would pass off some of the geometry of the process to company that's manufacturing the bricks. Then after the bricks growing and tested, we'd get test results of crushing these bricks and send that data to the great architectural engineers at Arab, who analyzes the structure and provides results which were then taken back into the living's 3D model. It's really an important loop for us to do many times in order to get all of the factors right to make its structure that's both new and experimental and tasting something innovative, he explains, but also that's safe and able to withstand hurricane winds and the sun and the rain of New York City summers, and the wear and tear of people having giant parties in the courtyard of PS1 inside it. Committed to going 40 foot tall, we had to start from first principles to figure out how to make it happen. Testing was at the center of engineering design. The results would help us shape the bricks themselves, choose how to arrange them, and decide how to connect them. Most importantly, they would help us make sure the structure would withstand a storm. No one person can solve so many interwoven problems at once. Columbia University Laboratory provided scientific load test. Burden at BMT Fluid Mechanics figured out what wind pressure the structure would see during the summer. Cook at Advanced Metal Coatings provided accelerated aging test. Art Dominate Artworks helps us all think about how the tower would be built. Innovative kept experimenting, producing different brick types with varying density and strengths. Arab turned data into designs and provided confidence about their variability, all the while looking for opportunities and risks and providing guidance about what testing should be done next. Leading the team and tying everything together, the living master fully crafted our structure out of all this information. drawing every bricks along the way. I have a question. For the part of computing the social, he seems to argue himself by saying that he had abandoned the fundamental economic tenet that people act logically. Instead, Pareto now believes that people are not logical, but believe they are logical. I think the opinion he held later seems more reasonable, for people have their each subjective ideas which can be critical for designing making. Computing the social does not take some emergency and accident into account. That can be an important part of social behavior, and it is a fact that people do not behavior as the way someone design. For instance, our design can be super good in terms of like biological function and energy saving, but it is possible that people does not like it at all, maybe for they do not accept our high-tech building with our strange space to use, or they do not think the building has that big difference from others. So people just can't be so logic like other physical properties. Why we still use the logical ways or software to computing them?
In the first place, this project presents itself as creating the world's first 100% compostable large structure because of using these organic bricks, and majority of the comments and reports about this project only emphasize these points. At first glance, it has no difference with the old house of my grandmother, which is made of clay, weeds, and woods, and also can be seen as 100% compostable. And when seeking the material in the website of the company Ecovative, who helps them to make the organic bricks, I found that the material is used in building before, but in an invisible way, as fill material inside the wall. So this project is neither the first 100% compostable structure, nor the first one to use this material in building. And in the second place, this project presents itself not as a building but as a large structure with no certain function and no requirements of interior space. So I think when it comes to a building, which is a more complex thing, it cannot still be 100% compostable. And when visiting this building, I do notice some deformation of the whole shape and decomposition of the material in some part of the building. So in other words, using this material as main material in former permanent building is still need to be tested. So as far as I'm concerned, the value of this building lies in making this material and the process of producing these bricks visible by more people through their competition and their exhibition in MoMA PS1. Maybe in the future, more and more people will begin to use this eco-friendly material. I noticed that there are some discrepancies between their build project and what it was designed to be. For example, as shown in the picture, differ from their practice, there is no wooden or metallic beam in the design period of the project. Besides, unlike the design, the density of the bricks in the practice is the same from the top to the bottom, which will minify the gravity defining as well as that cold microclimate effects created by the original structure. He himself also admitted this in his lecture. Since he designed the structure and the array of the bricks by means of a computer program, I think these discrepancies reveal some drawbacks in both material and design methods when converting the design project into reality.